garage, where
we're going to be working on one of our customer and good friend Jason's 2015 FRS. We're doing the 14-inch big brake kit. These are the rotors, obviously, very nice. And this is all made by APB.
So go ahead and check them out online, see what they offer for your car. We also have a discount code of kurenai. So if you're looking to get a little discount on your brakes, there you go. So we're going to show you how to install these 14-inch rotors on the front. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we have some really nice powder-coated wheels and lugs on this car, so we never take them off ever with mechanical tools, always by hand, and back on the same way. Alright, so remove our caliper bracket, and remove our rotor. And massive difference. After we remove the rotor, the dust shield needs to come off because it's not designed for a 14-inch rotor. It's just 3/12s. Alright, now we're going to install our front brackets. So caliper brackets are on. Let's slide this rotor back on. And okay, they're all marked where they go. There's a sticker front right. Then again, sticker indicates where it goes. Caliper is secured with two 10mm Allens. And then we can install our brake pads. It's really easy to install the brake pads on there. We pull these clips, slide the rods out, slide the pad back in. I gotta get the spring.
Six and a half hours later.
Install the pin. Clip's probably gonna fall out on you a couple times. Reinsert your clip on the top one. And you slide your bottom pin back in. Ensuring you push the spring down. Come on, you're almost in there.
That's what she said!
Your last pin in, and then slide your last cotter key in. After you have your brake line back installed, we're just going to test fit the wheels. Are you fucking kidding me? Caliper hits the rim, dude. Well, the front's all done, but the wheels don't fit anymore. We need wheel spacers, so we're gonna finish up the rear while we figure out where to get some ASAP. And same thing as the front. We're gonna remove the caliper and the caliper bracket. And as soon as Richard's done with the other side, we can take the e-brake off and remove the rotors. Now that Richard's got his side off and the e-brake off, we can slide our rotor off. This rotor is not too much bigger. It's only about a half-inch in diameter difference. Again, just like at the fronts, we're going to have to figure out how to remove if it unbolts or if we're going to have to trim the dust shield because these rotors rub. And order to get the rear rotors to fit and clear the dust shields, you are going to have to take some tin snips and snip the edge of that off. Then your rotor fits right on and there's no clearance issues. Alright, we can, now we know that fits, we can install our caliper bracket. They did supply the hardware for the rear, and their 8mm head Allens. Install our rotor back on. And then they shipped the caliper already mounted to the bracket, and I want to note that they do have a couple washers here that were in between right here in the bracket, assuming they are for shimming. So we're going to leave those in. And again, it's 8mm. I know it actually. Those washers obviously aren't for there, because if you look, our spacing is great there, and our pad is actually sitting a little high. So let's take those washers out. After all that's done, you can install your stainless steel braided rear lines and then test fit your wheel. Make sure everything clears, which the rear fits perfect. We only have a problem with these huge front calipers hitting the brake or the rim. So we're going to have to go through some extended studs and a wheel spacer, because these wheels were actually built around the other setup. So now we got to make adjustments.
So those washers actually go on the caliper there, caliper bracket. So once you have all the caliper bolted up and all of that, you can install your stainless steel braided brake line.
And then obviously, after you bleed it, the tire can go back on. But the tire is on right now just to ensure the fitment is well and good, so which it is. So the tire's gonna come back off. We're gonna bleed all the brakes. We did need to get spacers for the front, so we're waiting on those as well. And since we have spacers, we have to reset up the whole front end of the car. So that's going to be our job later today, as soon as those parts come in, and we'll show you how to bleed the brakes and what we have to do for the front end of the car to get this to the Hot Wheels show this weekend.
Day 2.
So yesterday we ran into a problem of on the front caliper. The front caliper was actually hitting the spokes of the wheel, so we had to order some wheel spacers, and of course the stock lugs would not work, so we had to order wheel studs, spacers, and we have an install tool. So we went with ARPs for Subaru, but it is a Toyota, and an installation tool. And this is just how much longer, hold the other one up to it, how much longer that stud is. So quite a bit here. So we're going to show you how to install the studs, get this thing back together, and get some wheel spacers on this thing, and get the front suspension set up, and go to the Hot Wheels show tomorrow. And wish us luck, because the one that wins that will go to SEMA this year, just like last year, to have compete with 5 cars, I believe, to have a die-cast model made of their car.
Alright, so right now what we're going to do is show you guys how exactly we're doing this. So, there's not always a lot of space to fit your stud through, so make sure that you rotate this properly so you can fit your stud through. This is a new extended stud. You see these little splines on here are going to match up inside of this. You can feel them. You just want to pull on it a little bit. That's it in there. We got our installation tool right here. This is pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Pop that on. You're going to need another lug. It's open-ended, so you can fit this on here like so. Get that thing a little snug, centered as you can. And take your impact here.
we're gonna do that 10 times in total, 5 on each side.
There you go. And you also always want to double check, make sure it's seated.
Yeah, always double check you're fully seated. Also, once you are done and all this, everything's back together, torque your wheels down, go for a short drive, maybe on a little bumpy road, very short drive, and then come back, retorque your wheels just in case they weren't pulled all the way through. They will pull through and you can get that little bit of slack out of them. But always retorque multiple times when you are putting in new lugs, or new lug studs. Now that we got the lugs all installed, put it all back together once more. Tighten our caliper bolts back down. 10mm Allen. Calipers on the tight. So we got some 5 or 1/2 inch spacers. To clear the rotor. Caliper. Just fit this wheel. We only need 2 lugs. So our extended studs are a little too long. So we're gonna have to cut them down. Alright, so, but the wheel fits and clears. That's good, so that'll work with those spacers. We gotta cut the lug, our studs a little bit, bleed the brakes, and we can get this thing back on the ground. Alright, now we're to bleeding the brakes, and you always start the tire furthest away from the master cylinder and work closer. So I've always done the inner bleeder first, then the outer. That may not be 100% correct, but I mean, you're going to get the air out regardless. So go ahead and pump it up. We also got our handy dandy Mountain Dew catch bottle here. Brakes are bled. Everything's put together. So get the tire back on. And they clear. Hell yeah. Put the rest of the wheels on, get it down, torqued, and we gotta reset the front alignment. Hopefully it's on, or not the alignment, cambers just a little bit so it misses the fender. But things are just absolutely massive. APB big brake kit on a 2015 FRS. Alright, so the FRS is back on the ground. Wheels are torqued, and I had to add a little bit of just some camber just to get it to the show tomorrow, and then it's all gonna have to be reset up. But these things are absolutely amazing. They're huge. So again, like, comment, share, follow, all that stuff. And I know I messed up before. It's kurenai. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm white. But there's the discount code right there. Boom. So go check out APB Brakes.